The future of AI is going to be quite incredible. I do believe we are on the cusp of significant change. The progress and pace and direction of travel for AI is going to see significant lifetime change for everybody watching this in their lifetime. How this is going to manifest is in the form of personal digital assistants. So we will each have, in theory, our own AI assistant. And as AI works better with the data and the quality of data that's fed into this, what we'll see is that people will use their own data in conjunction with their own digital assistant to, in theory, help manage their lives. If the mobile phone was the remote control to our digital lives initially, AI will now take that role on behalf of us. To put this into an example, if you imagine somebody sends you an invite for a meeting at work, your digital assistant would pick this up. It would check the relationship with that person based on the last 100 emails that you sent to each other. If there aren't any, it will assume it's somebody you don't know. It would check you're available, and then it would maybe just buzz in your ear through a headset or through augmented reality glasses and ask you if you're happy to take the meeting. If so, it would go ahead and book the meeting. It would then work out the location. It would then link directly to your train booking app or travel applications and book your train. It would also pay for your train as well, so you'd allow it the data access to book trains and use your credit cards or debit cards on your behalf. Not only would it do the book the meeting, reply to the person politely and all just on a quick audio note to say, are you happy to meet on this date, this time with this person? You just say yes. It books the train. It would then also, if needed, book the meeting room that you're going to use. It would book a taxi from the train station if needed, or give you directions. The second you walk out of the train station, directions would start to appear either audio or glass or on your watch. It could then take it further, so if you were delayed, it could notify everybody that at the meeting that you're running behind schedule. If you are late and you need to book maybe an Airbnb, it would book the Airbnb for you. Maybe you need some food as well, so it would order a Deliveroo, and maybe it could download a film, and it would know your preferences of films because it has access to your personal data.
If we assume that generative AI gets better and better and better, and that has been happening for a few years now, but it doesn't necessarily mean it always will. The technology might hit a brick wall of capability. But if we assume that it keeps getting better, we're going to see more jobs displaced by AI. It's already happening in, for example, creative freelancers in certain kind of copywriting roles, that kind of thing, are already finding their jobs replaced by AI. I think we'll see an absolute flood of media. So much media is going to be created with AI. We're already seeing it. It's rather horrible in a way, the amount of AI-generated music that's spamming up Spotify, that's AI-generated images that are appearing on people's Facebook feeds just to create engagement. So you have Facebook pages that just post these really engaging AI-generated images that then lots of people comment and go, oh, wow, that's amazing, and they think it's real. And it's just spam.
So the future technology, I think, has to sit side by side with kind of humanity. So, we've incorporated typewriters, telephones, computers quite nicely. They haven't taken over the world. So I think AI will gradually kind of fit into that place. You'll decide what you kind of want to use and what you don't want to use. I think there will also be policing against companies that insist you have to do systems within the house, for example. I think from an ethical point of view, we might kind of think very carefully about how that develops. I think a lot of companies will have to.
I'm very lucky because in the talks that I give around the future of work and AI and technology, I talk about the fifth industrial revolution, and that's where we are now. We're at this bit where, even as a futurologist, you can't tell what's going to happen in the next 5 years, but what we know for a fact, with the number of people now that are utilising the internet, there's going to be another 2 billion that will be coming on side in the next 3 years. That's 2 billion. Each one of these people potentially could start to utilising AI, and everybody could become 40 to 100% more productive in the knowledge sectors at least. You can see where the world's going to be going. It's going to be coming into this moment which changes everything.
Wow. If I think about the future of AI and tech, I have to caveat this with I have been spectacularly wrong on pretty much everything that way. I didn't think iPhones would catch on. Cameras in phones? Who wants a camera in a phone? That's a stupid idea. Yeah, right. So with that caveat, I predict it's already getting there in terms of AI personalities. So I think that's what we'll see. So not the Max Headroom kind of, for those people who are old enough to remember it, sort of entertainment personalities, although I think we'll get those too. We'll have AI models, you're already seeing those out there, AI clones of celebrities rather than the actual celebrities, some endorsed, some not. And I think we'll have AI team members, so particularly in the technology world where there'll be a bit more acceptance of it. So we need a coding job done, well, we'll just give it to Bob the bot, who will code that for us. But Bob the bot doesn't just respond to, hey, code this. It's got a personality and it talks back. And I think that's going to cause people some challenges in teams around trust. And, you know, you can't talk to about the weekend to Bob, or the fact that your great aunt just died, because although Bob will sympathise and say all the right things, you know Bob has no lived experience of that. He doesn't feel like that. And so what does that do then to the team? I think that's going to be an interesting one to wrestle with.
Two big things. It's going to the edge, so we're going to end up with it on computers, and we're going to end up with it on phones, and we're going to end up with it on fridges and various other things, and they're going to decide based on your interactions what's best to happen next. That's really an extension of what we've been used to so far with micro-targeting for advertising. It's that kind of interaction that's going to carry on. Agent-based AI is going to be a massive deal. It's really that leap from talking to something to doing more of the stuff that designed triggers for things like Alexa did, which is ordering food for you or ordering groceries for you. The encouragement is to plug it into your email and your calendar and possibly your bank account so it can do things for you. We already have a service that people can deposit funds into, so an AI that has to carry out tasks that might need some human interaction can hire a human to do parts of its job for it. That, to me, is really jumping the shark, but I think things like that are going to come out in the wash as some of the guardrails we'd prefer to see start to catch up.
One of my favourite things about technology is that as it advances, it becomes invisible. We stop thinking about it as technology. Nobody thinks about a wheel or a chair as technology anymore, and yet one day, a long time ago, they both were. People barely think of cars as technology now, albeit we've now made the transition to electric cars, which feel much more high-tech. But eventually they'll just become appliances, and we stop thinking about them as technology. At the moment, we have a lot of discrete devices. If you want to make a phone call, you pick up a phone, or if you're a teenager, you pick up a phone, look at it, and then send a text instead. But what we're going to see the next few years is those technologies start to disappear. Your phone increasingly stays in your pocket because you don't have to get it out, because the world of technology knows what you want and does it on your behalf. You don't have to turn the light switch on because your house knows that you want the light on, that you're there, that it's dark, that you can't see where you're going. It turns the light on your behalf. And you think about this in so many aspects of our lives, the things we spend a lot of time doing right now, whether that's the boring bits of administration at work just start to go away because they're done automatically on our behalf. And personally, who's someone who likes the more human aspects of life, who would rather spend less time dealing with the technology and more time focused on the really fun parts of life, I think that's an enormous bonus. It has its challenges, it has its risks, but mostly I'm quite positive about the near term for technology.
And again, there's a great quote that I love, which is, what seems unimaginable today will become inevitable tomorrow. And that was Albus Dumbledore. But I think it's so true. If we can think it, somebody else is going to think it, and somebody else is going to work on it and create it. So I think the possibilities are potentially endless when you talk about the advantages of AI and disruptive technologies like quantum computing. But I also believe that there is no future for us and with technology that doesn't have a human involvement. Now, we can talk about, thousands of years' time, if we haven't wiped ourselves out, whether or not we're still human, but that's a different conversation. But I think to view the future from a human perspective, having a key human involvement, therefore draws ethical questions and questions around the values of the impact on society and on humans with these technologies that I think will help create that better future of tomorrow that we all hope will happen.